ages, different faces, government is infiltrated. Been debated, mitigated, all your lies are syndicated.
Tom MacDonald's Fake Woke. I've actually been listening to Tom for a while, and I really respect his message and what he says and how he says it and his approach. A lot of people seem to get what he's saying mixed up. I mean, it's bound to happen because of shit. Look at everything. Like right now, we live in a world, and Fake Woke is about to address this. So, thought I'd do a review, talk about some really cool, in-depth stuff and some of the things that he says. So let's get this going. Tom, as always, keep rocking.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard.
You know, this has been something that's been going on for years, right? Like, Elvis, he's terrible. Jazz music, terrible. You know, Tom's right, look. He's controversial because he speaks truth. He speaks facts, speaks what's on his mind. And he's a white dude, so straight white male.
Model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it.
There you go. Drugs. Why always gotta be pushing drugs? I mean, look at how many great up-and-coming rappers that we've lost because of drugs, and musicians just in general. I mean, all of us artists usually carry some kind of darkness and struggle with us, but what I do enjoy is seeing rappers promoting positivity and thinking. So this is really cool. This is a lot of like where my music is now. This is how I would have been had I not been a Jehovah's Witness.
It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to...
People think he's bashing Eminem. No, he's stating a fact.
We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, because you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to...
Yep, go to some other countries. I have some friends in Turkey, and you know, there's other places. Just saw over in England, a dude got put in jail for a video. Well, shit, here in America, man getting arrested and put in jail for 10 years for a meme criticizing Hillary Clinton.
Walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by...
Dude, even the GameStop shit, people are jumping on that and calling it an act of white supremacy. So you start calling all these names and labeling everything this, it loses power. Now, anything and everything's racist, homophobic. It's just dumb.
By association, all our childhood heroes got me too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens. We think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to...
See, I have been saying this for years. The greatest slave, the best slave is the one that thinks they're free. So, when we look at actual history, oh yeah, you're all free. But oh, now it's like, well, they committed a crime. Now black people get back into slavery. You just keep us locked in. Tell us what we're supposed to think. Go to work, get a job, go to school, pay your taxes, be a product, be a consumer.
Any screens, we think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame.
Yeah, here in America, it's obvious. Like, I'm really curious how, like, if you really start doing your research, this has been something that's been wedged and wedged and wedged and wedged, and it is a great tool for anyone to use to divide. And I don't know, I grew up in the South, and I mean, I've traveled all over this country, and like, I would have never thought that this country, as far as people go, are racist at all. Sure, we have racist people, but as a whole, Americans are pretty damn cool.
They so fake woke, facts don't care about feelings, they know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke, same old safe zones. They so fake woke, facts don't care about your feelings.
I think it's crazy crazy how these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. I think
that is a very good point, because what constitutes hate speech? This is what has happened now. We're starting to see with censoring and stuff. And there was a excuse me, there was a rapper, Topher, who was like cut off from all streaming platforms because of a song called "The Patriot," because he was at the Capitol performing, and so I'd much rather have people that are racist and bigots and hateful out in the open spewing their hate, so we can know what's up, because you got the freedom of speech, but you're not free from consequences of those actions.
I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same. Yeah. I just want to spend Thanksgiving Day.
Because of my experience as a Jehovah's Witness and leaving an organization like that, it was a cult, I always have to look into stuff before I get involved and back it. And while I see a lot of good in many things, there's just certain things that I realize that I could be more helpful with. In other ways, I prefer to unite.
Day with food in my family, without being accused of celebrating native casualties. We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are bigots, libtards if you're liberal. There's riots in our streets and it's just getting worse. Y'all screaming thief on the police, y'all a genius for sure. They're underfunded already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first.
I know plenty of police officers that were actually trying to help, and I think we're all to blame, really. I think kind of the whole point of this song is that, like, everyone's pointing fingers, but the truth is we're all to blame. We've let it get this far. We scream for better police, better government, all this stuff, but we're not really screaming for better citizens, because we're screaming for help us, government, all of you in control. When the fact is, it's like in our hands, really. We can go out and start, just stop being divided, stop being racist, go out and help.
Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves.
They so fake.
But I like his hooks, Tom. I like your choruses.
We use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin. Politicians are for sale and someone always makes the purchase, but you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless. If a man has
This point right here is key. One of the things I wanted to bring up with this. Look up in the book Propaganda, if you can find this. Right here, this was written by Edward Bernays. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. This book was actually written and first published in 1928. Hitler's Minister of Propaganda used this book to, create the whole Nazi movement. This was used to perpetuate the war machines that we have. Edward Bernays was used to get women to actually smoke. Here's from the back of it. It's really interesting. It says, a fascinating, controversial look at how government and corporations control how we think and act. Propaganda outlines Edward Bernays' eerily prescient vision for regimenting the collective mind. Originally published in 1928, this manual of mass manipulation provides a detailed examination of how public discourse and opinion are shaped and controlled by politics, business, art, education, and science. In a world dominated by political spin and media manipulation, propaganda is an essential read for all who wish to understand how power is used by the ruling elite of our society. People often ask me, why do I really think that the world's controlled by global elites? Yeah. I mean, he just said it. Our country has been bought and paid for. Go and look at how much lobbyists make. Look at people who leave working in the government, become lobbyists, and how much money they make. We can't afford politicians. They are for sale. And usually the ones who aren't, and that's why we're in this perpetual state of, it's just greed. And things have to change, and we need people speaking up, calling shit out, and just starting conversations. Being like, yo, this is what I see. What do you see? This is how I feel, how you feel. Where do we come together on this?
The illness, call them crazy, say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society. Get sick and take a pill when the side effects get you high. You get addicted like these rappers dying, fighting with sobriety. Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety, I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate.
That is exactly what I said back in 2014 and 15 when I was really questioning my faith. I was like, if it's true, then I can start looking all over because the truth will stand up to any kind of scrutiny. And sure enough, Jehovah's Witnesses, they give you their watchtowers, their wakes, all their publications with a specific goal in mind, and they say, oh, it's from God, we've already looked through, this is the information you need, this is your proper food. And that's how you control people. It's information control. It's part of cult tactics. So what we're seeing with censorship happening right now, I have a video coming up that I'm working on about the cult of politics and how it works and how it manipulates us. And Tom's dead on with this.
Trying to change amen to amen and women. How'd we let them make praying a microaggression? Instead of asking God for the strength to keep winning, we cheat to get ahead and then we ask him for forgiveness. Feminism used to be the most righteous of fights, but these days it feels like they secretly hate guys. I don't trust anyone who bleeds for a week and don't die. I'm just kidding, but everything else that I said is right.
There is a lot of unnecessary, how would I say, like division amongst everybody. Everybody's wanting to point blame and this and that, and it can go really too far, because at what point does pointing the blame just become tiresome when you start just keep pointing out problems and not bringing any solutions? So yeah, that's my response. I mean, obviously it is a great song, you know, like I really enjoy intellectual music, whether it be, you know, like Tool, and some of the other artists, rappers that I really got into, named Graydon Square. He is a cool dude, very like old school, like West Coast vibe, very, very smart and very, very blunt with his lyrics. And, you know, then another one, Baba Brinkman, you know, and, you know, Tom, he's bringing his own thing, staying in his lane, and, dude, Tom, keep it up, man. It's good stuff. Keep people thinking. All right, guys, I appreciate, I hope this was informative or fun or whatever. I don't know. These reviews are, it's weird to me talking to this damn camera. All right, everyone. Peace.